Good morning, students. In my today's videos, I'm going to discuss the second chapter of your snapshot book. Okay, the name of this chapter is The Address, and this chapter is written by Marga Minko. Marga Minko is a Dutch journalist and a writer. Okay, and this is a you can say a biographical extract of Marga Minko. Introduction. If we talk about this some story of this chapter, the story is based about the human predicament that follows the pre-war and post-war period. Mrs. S, who was a Jew, okay, a rich lady, whereas Mrs. Darling was a non-Jew. The girl, daughter of Mrs. S, had lost her house and her mother during the war, and now she had decided to come back to take her possessions from Mrs. Darling. An acquaintance of Mrs. S, okay, whose address was given by her mother years ago. Okay, when she reached the house, the woman treated her with the cold reception and didn't let her into the house. She decided to go back anyway, and then she met her daughter, who let her in and told her to wait inside. When she saw all the possession, all the things of her mother in front of her, she couldn't connect with them and decided to leave the house. So this is about the story of The Address, okay, which tells us about the human behavior that follows the pre-war and post-war, okay. That how this story is a touching account of a girl, okay, who was in search of her mother's belonging after the Second World War in Holland, okay. But even after finding what she so much wanted to touch, to see, to feel and remember, she leaves everything behind, okay, as it could not bring her dead mother back, okay. She decided to move on and live with only memories of her former time, okay. So the address, till she visited that place, lost its value, and girl realized that it could get her nothing but pain, okay. So this is all about the chapter The Address. The address, about the characters, okay. Main character is the daughter. She is a narrator who returns to Holland to go to the address where her mother's precious belongings were kept, okay. As normalcy had returned after the Second World War in Holland, she wanted to see all the possessions that were bound between her family and herself, okay. So this is a narrator of this. The daughter is the narrator of the story. Okay, Mrs. S, the narrator's mother. Okay, the narrator's mother named Mrs. S. In the story, the narrator's mother has been called as Mrs. S. She was a simpleton who could not see the manipulating and fraudulent nature of Mrs. Darling, her acquaintance. Okay, Mrs. Darling was an acquaintance of Mrs. S, who fraudulent, who was manipulating and having a fraudulent nature. Okay, she trusted Mr. Darling. Mrs. S trusted Mr. Darling and allowed her to keep all the precious belongings for the time being. Okay, now Mrs. Darling, also main character of the story, she has been described as an old acquaintance of Mrs. S. Okay, after a long gap, she appeared again during the war. She possessed a cunning personality. Okay, Mrs. Darling, possessed a cunning personality. She is most reluctant to recognize the daughter and does not allow her to enter the house. So this is about the character of the story, The Address. So let's talk about the summary of this chapter, The Address. Okay, I have divided the summary into the main points. Okay, one by one I will explain you the points. I will explain you the summary of the story with the help of these points. Okay. Okay, Mrs. Darling's indifferent attitude towards the narrator. First point is, okay, so the narrator once okay once the narrator felt everything was normal, okay, she decided to go back to Darling's home, Mrs. Darling's home, okay. The narrator knocked at the door of a house, okay, but the door was opened only a little. She asked the owner if she knew her. The narrator told her that she was Mrs. S. daughter. Okay, the narrator told the owner of the house that she was Mrs. S. daughter. But the owner, who was the owner, Mrs. Darling, okay, but the owner of the house, Mrs. Darling, denied knowing her. Mrs. Darling's face gave absolutely no sign of recognition, and she kept staring at her without speaking any word. The narrator thought that perhaps she was mistaken and had rung the wrong bell. Okay, by looking at the behavior of Mrs. Darling, the narrator thought perhaps she mistaken and had rung the wrong bell. Then the narrator got a glimpse of her mother's green knitted cardigan, which Mrs. Darling was wearing. Okay, then at a sudden, narrator noticed the glimpse of her mother's green knitted cardigan, which Mrs. Darling was wearing. This confirmed to her that she had reached the correct address. Okay, but Mrs. Darling excused herself by saying that she could not talk to the girl that day and she should come again later. Then she shamelessly closed the door. So, this is how Mrs. Darling reacted toward the narrator. Second point, someone watching the narrator from the window. The narrator stood for some time on the steps, okay, even after the door closed. Someone was watching her from the bay window. The girl presumed that someone other than Mrs. Darling must be watching her and must have asked why the narrator came there. Okay, so narrator noticed that someone watching her from the bay window. Okay, she assumed that someone must have asked why the narrator came there. Narrator came there. Okay, next point is the narrator remembers what her mother had told her. In this, after this refusal, the narrator walked back to the station. Okay, while she was moving back, she was thinking about her mother. Her mother had given her Mrs. Darling's address years ago. Okay, it had been in the first half of the war. The setting of this story is a wartime. Okay, pre-war or post-war. The narrator's mother told her about Mrs. Darling, an old acquaintance. Okay, the narrator's mother told her that Mrs. Darling was her old acquaintance. Okay, she also informed her, narrator's mother also informed narrator that every time when Mrs. Darling came to their home, she took something to her home with her. Okay, the reason Mrs. Darling gave for her action was that she wanted to save all the good things, as the narrator's mother would not be able to save everything if they had to leave suddenly because of the war. Okay, the narrator's mother had accepted the idea. She was rather obliged toward Mrs. Darling that she was carrying such heavy luggage every time, okay, she visited, as it was really risky during the war. Okay, so this is how the narrator remembers what her mother told her about Mrs. Darling and how Mrs. Darling carried their belongings to her home, okay, because of the war. Next is Next point is narrator remembers when she met Mrs. Darling. Yes, in this next point, the narrator remembers when she met Mrs. Darling. The narrator arrived at the station without having paid much attention to the things on the way. Okay, she was walking in a familiar places again for the first time since the war. She didn't want to upset herself with the sight of the streets and houses full of memories from the previous time. Okay, in the train, she remembered the first time when she had seen Mrs. Darling. It was the morning after the day her mother had told her about Mrs. Darling, who was wearing a brown coat and a shapeless hat. Okay, the narrator has asked from her mother if she lived far away as she was carrying a heavy suitcase. Okay, her mother told her that Mrs. Darling lived at number 46 Marconi Street. Okay, so this is how the narrator's mother gave the address of Mrs. Darling to narrator. What was the address? Number 46 Marconi Street. Next point is initially the narrator was reluctant to see the family's old belongings. Okay. Yes, initially the narrator was reluctant to see the family's old belonging. The narrator had remembered the address but waited a long time to go there. Initially, after the war was over, she was not interested in all their belongings lying with Mrs. Darling. She was afraid to see the things that had belonged to her dead mother. She didn't want to see their belongings lying in Mrs. Darling's house in boxes and cupboards and needing to be put back in their old places again. Okay, so she was scared that the things might make her very nostalgic, make her very sad. Okay, but gradually her life became normal again, and one day she became curious to know about all the things that belonged to her mother, belonged to her family. Okay, so the next point is the narrator decided to visit again, or you can say the revisit. After her first visit, he did not. After her first visit, did not yield any result. So she decided to visit second time. This time, a girl of about 15 opened the door. Okay, as her mother was not at home. Okay, the narrator asked about Mrs. Darling. She was told that Mrs. Darling was not at home. She followed the girl along the passage. Okay, she noticed an old fashioned iron candle holder which they never used. Okay, they went into the living room. She recognized that iron candle, okay, which belonged to her mother, which belonged to narrator's family. Okay, the narrator was horrified. Okay, when she found herself in the midst of their old belongings. Okay, but they oppressed her as they were kept in a strange surrounding and in a very tasteless manner. She was hurt to see her family's belonging lying in a tasteless way, which with the ugly furniture and muggy smell. Okay, the tablecloth, the silver cutlery, and even the still life showing the apple of the tin plate all belonged to her mother, all belonged to narrator's family. Okay, so the next point is narrator's keen observation of Mrs. Darling's daughter. Seventh point. Okay, she was keenly observing the girl who had broad bags similar to that of Mrs. Darling. The girl was placing teacups for tea to be served. Okay, she was pouring the tea from a white teapot which had a gold border. All these things belonged to her mother, and the narrator was observing everything. Okay, the silver spoon, cutlery set, the tablecloth, all belonged to narrator and all belonged to narrator's mother. Okay, the narrator indirectly hinted to the girl that they missed things which are either missing from the original place or have been loaned to somebody. Okay, next is narrator's final resolution. Okay, the narrator decided that she could not stay there anymore because all the belongings were kept in a very tasteless manner in a strange surrounding. Okay, the address was correct, but the narrator didn't want to remember it anymore. She felt that the objects were linked to a memory of a time which no longer existed. Okay, they had lost their value in the strange surrounding. Okay, she comforted herself by by thinking that her present house was too small to accumulate all the old stuff. Okay, she left the house, leaving her family's belonging behind. So this is all about the summary of the chapter. If we talk about the theme of this chapter, the story is a touching account of a girl who goes in search of her mother's belonging after the Second World War in Holland. Okay, but even after finding what she so much wanted to touch, to see, to feel, and remember, she leave everything behind as it could not bring her dead mother back. Okay, she decides to move on and live with only memories of the former times. Okay, so the address that held so much importance till she visited that place lost its value, and the girl realized that it could get her nothing but pain. Okay, so she in the last she decided to forget the address. Okay, because that address reminded her about her past. Okay, and made her nostalgic. She wanted to move on. Okay, so she decided to forget the address. So this is about the theme of the story. Okay, I hope the chapter is clear to everyone. If you still find any problem, you can send me personal message. Thank you and have a nice day, students.